Well, let's just segue from the discussion and just talk about the signings. We'll talk about how some of the signings last season went great, but I mean they've done some great business as well. I'll just remind everybody of the main signings that they have. They have Tijani Reinders from Milan, Ait Nouri, who's well known in the league for Wolves, Ryan Cherky, and James Trafford, who's probably the main ones that CT have signed this year. Obviously, they've lost as well a few players, the likes of De Bruyne, Kyle Walker, and a few more that are not coming to my head right now.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne and all that. So, how do you assess the summer business so far?
I think it's decent. I think they have, as you said just there, they have addressed a lot of the issues that were glaring. The midfield, namely bringing in, defensive mid as Reinders, top player. This guy is, man. Just the little I've seen of him, like it's just incredible the control he has and the work rate. So that's good. On the attacking end of the midfield, they brought in Cherky, top signing for the price. The player itself, like the value for the player is just insane. Ait Nouri, my God, he's solid. This guy, I can just hype up all these players right here because that's what Man City does. They usually do good signings. Now it's just about how this signing is going to integrate because it doesn't always come off. We've seen the Grealish, we've seen a few over the years, right? And even now, Savinho is there's talk on Savinho's head talking about going to Tottenham, which is what? How does that even work? It just came. Like, yeah, that's so weird. So yeah, if you're counting Savinho that they brought in, that was January, or early
I think it was last season.
Last summer.
I think it was last season.
Yeah. Last season, right? So it's Marmoush that they brought in. If we're looking at the calendar, it's Marmoush that they brought in this year, right? Mm-hmm. All in all, they've done. They always do the business. They can get pretty much anybody they want. Everybody pretty much wants to go and play there. So that's not really the worry. The worry for them is always, okay, how is that gonna, work out for Pep? How's that gonna gel? How far can they go with that team on all fronts? Because that's what now is the expectation for City, which is why last season was such a surprise. The expectation is you guys going for all those titles. You're getting something, or at least two or more, right? So is all of these new additions going to help with that? I think the outgoings were definitely overdue. Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, mainly, they just had to go. So they're doing the business, and I do think they will be a team to watch. They will be all up there around the third position onwards, and even in all the major leagues, they will be there to compete with this squad because now the squad is bigger and it looks stronger than what it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, like we can even add like the January signings to that. I mean, Marmoush and Nico. Who else was it? The center back. What's his name? Kusanov.
Yeah.
Kusanov.
Had a horrible debut though.
He disappeared as well. He went. I don't feel like he disappeared as well. So yeah, you can add those guys to that list, and I mean it's a strong list. Cherky was a bargain, man. I was so surprised. Mm-hmm. There was no bidding war for him or anything like that. For that price. If you were talking about 70, 80 million, then I'll be like, I don't know. Yeah. But for that price, like that was a bargain. So,
ridiculous.
Yeah. So and Reinders, like you said, he's a top player, man. In that midfield, such a high work rate. It's exactly what they needed. Just a guy that can cover. Yeah. So much leg and the quality to come with it. So it's a good list of players. Like Freddie said, the thing is with City is like, can they integrate them? Because we know they have a set style of play. We know that was maybe my question for Cherky going to City rather than maybe another team is like, is he a Guardiola player? I think that's the question you asked. Like when City signed a guy, like, is he a Guardiola player? Because we saw what happened with Grealish, that kind of free range player, like let me do what I want type player. They don't always do well with Guardiola, but some do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's mainly the question. And I thought Nouri as well was a interesting signing. He's a very good player for Imanco. They haven't been playing with fullbacks really for the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons. Usually It's been they've been playing like with 4 center backs most of the time. Even Walker has been there, but like he's not really going up and down like he used to. Like he's been more of a hybrid fullback center back for the last 2-3 years. So that's where I'm interested to see what he's gonna do with Ed Nuri, if they are gonna bring back the fullback type thing, or maybe it's gonna be inverted. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see there. But yeah, they've addressed some of their issues, and I think what they need. I saw they were linked with a center back, this French guy from Leipzig. I can't quite remember his name, but I do think they need 1, maybe 2 center backs, because, like Jan said, after Diaz and Guardiola, I don't know about Akanji, I don't know about Ake, Kusanov. I mean, he's still young, but
he's great, bro.
They really just shipped him off somewhere. Even
they did him so wrong, man.
They did it wrong, so
they just threw him at the deep end.
They did. So
and it wasn't good for him. But we don't really know what's happening with Stones. Was just injured.
With Stones as well. Yeah, he's always injured.
Right.
But in terms of the signing, I think they've done some good business. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think they probably need another one in midfield. Creativity wise. Yes, I think they've replaced De Bruyne. They've replaced him well with Cherki. I think Cherki is a fantastic player, as you alluded. And defensively, but I mean, defensively it's not really a defensive signing. It's more of an offensive signing, because I know he's more known for his, dropping forwards more than defending. So does that fix the defensive issues that they had last season? Probably not. So they probably need to fix it there. And obviously, it looks like they addressed the keeper as well. I've seen somewhere, I don't know if I remember correctly, but I've seen somewhere where they're saying that the business is done for the summer. And I think that if that is the case, I think that's why I don't have them. I see them competing, because it's City and they still have great players, and they still have, good young players that are coming. You remember Oscar Bob that we are giving River.
Yeah, right.
He's going to come in and, he's going to want to, come and impose himself into that team. That he'll probably feel that is a year out on that. Good players that we've seen last year. We've seen the O'Reillys, the McAtee, but I think McAtee is linked to
I think he's leaving here
on loan or something.
Yeah.
The Rico Lewis, who was up. He was in and out of the squad as well. They still have young players in the in the squad as well that can come and offer something. But yeah, in terms of reinforcement, I think it's good. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10 because they'll still have areas that they need to improve on.
Yeah. My big question is, what's going to happen to Phil Foden?
I feel like this year is the year for Phil Foden to kind of prove to everybody that he's the man that can take.
He has to.
Because
how is he going to do that though? Because
he was the De Bruyne replacement. So if they now bring a De Bruyne replacement for the De Bruyne replacement, it's like.
I don't know. I think Phil Foden has his place in this team. He can play as an 8. If Phil Foden, I think, starts. And
really,
yeah, I think it starts because you're gonna do you're probably gonna. But it looks like Rodrygo again has a setback on his injury right now.
But I think Rodrygo will start at 6.
But if Rodrygo is there, it's probably gonna be because Cherki is a guy is just the X factor, right? So he's probably gonna be. He's going to probably take a little bit longer to bed into that team. This kind of players, take a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. So Phil Foden can just play that 10, and he's going to have to take the opportunity to show that, hey, it's going to be nigh impossible to replace me, and that's going to be up to him. But I think this is a make or break season for Foden in this team.
It has to be, yeah. Because Bernardo is still there. Bernardo will still want to play in the 10 or the 8.
Yeah, I mean, Bernardo. A lot of Bernardo's work was done over on that right-hand side, which I don't think he has the legs to do anymore.
Yeah,
he probably looked to, but that's because players like Savinho, they came in and
he didn't do the work.
Yeah, exactly. So he had to be shipped out there. But Bernardo is a fantastic 8/10.
Yeah,
and, I think a lot of his work is wasted over on that side. But I mean, he does a job for them, and that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, these players like that, Bernardo's probably gonna feel like because he's getting on a little bit as well, so he's probably gonna feel like he probably doesn't have 40, 50 games in his legs anymore, especially if he's gonna be on the right hand side. So you know, those players that didn't perform last year, and that's the thing, a lot of players that they had did not perform last year.
That's true.
That's why they find themselves in this situation. We're gonna say it's an off year for them, and so they're gonna have to come back and prove that, hey, they're the players that we all thought they were.
Yeah,
and that's probably gonna be it.